Hey everybody, it's that time of the day, it's that time of the week. Guess what, folks? It's your Friday Drive, a dish. It's your happy hour, it's whatever you want to call it, it's the Friday show.
Happy Friday.
Yeah, happy Friday the 13th, like I always say. Tim, what's going on, my friend? How are you?
I'm all right, man. I'm all right. I'm feeling surprisingly good. I ran a half marathon yesterday.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay, cool. The first time I ran 13.1 miles, like I swore to never put on running shoes again in my entire life. And that lasted for like 3 days, and then I felt better. Last year, when I did my first half as part of the training plan for the full, I didn't feel like, I was going to die, but I didn't feel good.
Yeah.
This year, I feel great.
Really?
Well, I mean, great is kind of relative. My muscles are fine. They're tired, but they're not sore.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't know. The funny thing is this year for training, I'm just doing less.
I noticed that, actually, which is weird that I noticed that. Well, we've been comparing notes on running and working out and stuff. Yeah,
it's like, if I'm out of town for the weekend, it's like, it's fine. I know how to do it now. I'll get back into the swing of it. Or, if I'm just like super tired and my alarm goes off at like 4:30 in the morning, it's like, forget it. I'll just, whatever. I'll do it tomorrow. And honestly, I feel like it's keeping my body more fresh, more ready.
Yeah.
So I can do these longer runs when I need to.
I believe that, actually. Yeah, you're getting the muscle, like the resting and the rebuilding. And
Exactly.
There you go. Yeah.
Exactly.
Huh.
And of course, when I'm doing my running, I'm wearing running shoes. And I'm running down near the Mississippi River. So,
man, you got a lot of overlapping conspiracy theories here.
Right. So, by the way, I'm going to take a picture of my running shoes and send them to you so that if I go missing and my disarticulated feet show up on the shore somewhere, 20 years from now, you'll be able to identify it.
That's really dark, and I'm trying to think of a joke, and I can't.
If you haven't figured it out already, on Monday, 3 days from now, we're going to be talking about running shoes with feet in them, washing ashore.
Yeah,
not in the great state of Minnesota, fortunately, but in the Seattle, Vancouver, British Columbia, Pacific Northwest area.
This is a listener-recommended show, and it's been on the list for a while. And so I'm glad, Tim, that you finally did this one because it's one of those, when I saw it, I was like, that's really kind of freaky, and it sounds super interesting in like a not like fun way, but just interesting.
Right.
So I'm glad we covered it.
I mean, when you start talking about, dismembered bodies and a death count that's high, it's like, is this really how we want to spend our morning or afternoon or whenever we're recording,
Yeah,
And
exactly.
the weeks or so leading up to it, thinking about this and processing it. I always hesitate and, I usually come around to it. But it was interesting. It was fun. And we talked about, the official explanation, of course, and a couple other wild and not so wild hypotheses. And I was kind of surprised where we landed.
I was too. I'm glad you said that.
Yeah. I didn't really think about it coming into it, where we would land, but yeah, I don't know. You got to tune in to find out. I'm not going to tell you.
And I always love it when I don't have, or one of us doesn't have any background in the conspiracy, and then really this is a whole new thing at the time, and that's exactly the journey I went on. That was really fun.
That's always really fun about doing these, and I'm sure you guys might be the appeal. I honestly don't know what the appeal of this show is to you, the listener, but thanks for tuning in anyway. But I literally I showed up this morning, and I was like, all right, we got 3 to do, and we got A, B, and C. He's like, well, let's do A. And I was like, okay, what do you know about this? He's like, absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, perfect. Yeah. Let's do it.
Can I say also, I think this is the second time in Crackpot history when we recorded before noon.
Yeah, it's kind of creepy. It's super light out, and I got the whole day ahead of me, and I don't know how to feel about that. Because normally, I leave, and I drive home, and I go to bed.
Yeah. It's late. We're both tired. We look at each other like, why are we still doing this?
Why are we, what's the point?
I know. This morning, I'm like, making coffee. I'm coming in the basement, getting everything set up. I'm like, wow, I feel unusually good for putting a show together right now.
And you're at a fun wedding last night.
I was at a wedding last night.
Any shout outs you want to give?
Shout out to the new couple, Sam and Zoe. So,
Any listeners that were at the show that you want to?
Yeah, actually, there's a new listener, Derek, and I want to say thanks, Derek, for coming up and saying that you enjoyed the show, because I don't really know you that well. We met for the first time just a few weeks ago, and then he brought up the show. I was like, oh, thanks. So
thanks,
if you're listening now, thank you for that.
Has he rated and reviewed us?
I didn't let him leave the dance floor until he did, so presumably yes.
Perfect. Good. Well, thanks, Derek, and everyone else. So yeah, check it out this coming week. A little darker, little gory, but if that's your thing, then this is your episode. So tune in Monday morning, right?
Absolutely. All right, folks. Well, guess what? If you haven't guessed it by now, all that background noise you hear, Tim and I are in the bar and just about to jump into the happy hour here. I'm just kidding. All right, we'll see you next. Well, gosh, I'll see you in a few days. Have a great weekend, everybody, and have fun, whatever you're doing.
All right, see ya.
Yes,